Hello and welcome to the Peak Podcast. My name is Kyle Nelson, and I've got my good co-host, my good buddy, and my good friend, business partner,
Yeah.
Mr.
What else,
Libby.
man? Kind of keep them rolling,
dude. I'm gonna start coming up with some other kind of
sidekick.
This
This is good. Yeah, that's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Kidding, you're not my sidekick. That was a joke. You didn't get it.
I didn't really get that one.
What's up?
Mouse in your pocket. Doing good, man. Last podcast of the day for us.
Yes.
Had some great conversations today. We're warmed up. The pipes are warm. We're ready to
Ooh,
roll.
good way to look at that. Got some good aha moments and light bulbs on some of them.
Oh yes, true. That's a great point.
If you haven't joined us today, the Peak Podcast is all about us having conversations with other coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, and business owners, and understanding the trials and tribulations they've gone through, the different aha moments that they've had in their life, and the transitional parts of their life where they found that they learned a little something about themselves and they felt like there's something that they've got to bring to the world, a new impact. And that's typically the business they have today. There's usually a really good story behind those things. Other than that, we are the founders of Peak Fulfillment, a self-guided solo retreat program where you go in a place of solitude by yourself with some workbooks and some other good goodies that we have for you to go over self-reflection, self-discovery, and vision crafting. But without further ado, let's bring on Joe Ambrosetti, a wonderful consultant and a great conversationalist. Joe, what's going on, my man?
Hey, gentlemen. Nice to see you again. Great.
Gosh, good to see you, Joe. Thanks for being here. Excited for the combo today. But before we start, we have to do the icebreaker.
Okay.
So, favorite Christmas gift in the last 2 years?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I got a transplant. You know, that would be nice.
Gift.
That is an amazing gift. Yeah. An amazing gift. We're going to dive into that story.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's.
We're going to answer.
Yeah. A couple years ago, my wife gifted me and the kids a trip to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice. And it was like in the middle of January when it was cold here and it was just a tad bit warmer there. That was a good one.
Yeah. I think experiences are always the best.
Yeah. What's yours? Like a new grill or something?
Nice.
Anyways, no, an experience. Beck and I went on a cool trip.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. Well, Joe, thanks for being here, man. Really, really excited to dive into your story, your background, and how and why you've gotten to what you're doing today. So in the pre-chat, we talked a little bit about backgrounds and how we were going to get into the show. So tell us about what you've been going through in the last couple of years and some of the things that you've worked through.
I would say just you guys, life every day you wake up, you don't know what's going to throw at you, right? So whether it's personal or professional.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, my daughter wasn't feeling well, going to college, and she had leukemia, we found out.
Jeez.
But we all get curveballs. I mean, you get hit by a car tomorrow, right? Everybody has their issues. But I guess the point that was unique was a month later after she was hospitalized, I wasn't feeling well. And then I got leukemia. So we had two of us, leukemia within the family, 2 months apart. It's not hereditary. You're in the hospital and doctors are like, why are there two last names of the same in the same unit? So it was interesting. That was eye-opening.
Man, absolutely. What was that like with your daughter? What was that like? Was that like a bonding moment between you and your daughter? Like, it sounds weird to say that, but like, did that make you guys closer? And were you close before, or how did that look?
She was 18 at the time, so it was your normal, normal hormones, father, daughter, wonderful, loving. Dads are always the good guys. I'll tell you, it was close. You become selfless even more. I was fine, okay with dying. I was just praying that she would live. That's the one thing. If you're a father, honestly, the most unselfish thing is that I wasn't thinking about myself. Just want her. I think the bonding, the saddest part, and we'll get to the good stuff, was probably watching her get her head shaved in the room. Like seeing this beautiful 18-year-old girl with long hair get shaved. But I was seeing dead people. I was seeing angels, and that's life, right? So it's kind of weird stuff. So it's very transitional.
Man, I can.
What got you through that?
Yeah.
I think it's just who you are. It's in your DNA. I've always been optimistic. CEO of a former company called me like an eternal optimist. It's attitude. I mean, we can get thrown curveballs every day in life with anything, and to be resilient, you just deal with it, right? And have the will to want to live. There was a couple of close calls. I told my mom I see angels in the corner of the room. They thought I was done that night. And then one day I was hallucinating, saying that I was getting my blood pints and units from dead soldiers in the veterans. Yeah, over at Arlington Cemetery. Weird stuff. But
wow.
During this time, you talk about having a mindset of, being positive, and you're also trying to be like the rock and the support and the light to your daughter. Did you see, this is a pretty personal question, did you see a future? Like when you say you think positive, like, did you see a future knowing that you would get through this?
I did. You kind of have to have faith in you just have to have faith and believe. You have to. It's like all the entrepreneurs that you work with, the one thing I never was I was always risk adverse, and that changed. You think about your entrepreneurs, I give them credit. They have courage, going out on a shingle on your own like that and trying to make a difference and create something. And then I tie it back to my life. It was enough. I was just like, this is what was thrown my way, and we're going to get through it. So it was nice.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? Were you involved in steward leadership prior to this happening?
No, it was actually one of the big global consulting firms, Korn Ferry, and
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, just when after I survived, and some people can stay on disability. I just want to get back to work and get helping people improve their lives. I mean, I can't do that. I need to get going and move forward. So, daughter made it. I made it. We both got our hair back. Lost it twice from radiation and chemo.
Yeah. Man.
Did you find through this process, did you find purpose? Did you find calling? Was there something when you reflect back on the time that you were going through all this, was there something inside that came out of like who you are moving forward? Was there an identity shift that happened?
I think it was more about looking back and realizing I could have been more present. So every day I live, you guys, I would share with you in your own lives. Live for today, be present. I don't worry about tomorrow at all.
So cool, man.
You just have to enjoy life and have faith, but you have to have a good attitude and go after it, right? I mean, you guys are startups and you have a great program. So I feel like I've done a solo retreat a couple of times in the hospital room, and the nurse doesn't, bother you for 6 hours till they wake you up to take blood. It's kind of like I can relate. So.
Wow, Joe. Man, I had such a good question for you, and it's
I'm sorry.
No, gosh, no, don't be sorry at all.
And I don't have an English accent like some of your guests. I'm just, just a regular guy. Happy.
No, that's awesome. Man, I'm blanking on my question. You go and
tell me a little bit about your work that you're doing today.
Yeah.
Today, as a consultant, just as long as there are humans and organizations, you guys, there is room to help people grow and be better leaders.
Absolutely.
Be better contributors. So it's the goodness of life. It's the steward leaders. Sorry, I have Bell's palsy right now because of this stuff. There's constantly stuff going on. So excuse the paralysis. The steward leadership goodness. It's just helping companies and people to become better and perform. There has to be a willingness, though, right? You can't force it. So it's just what I enjoy. We all have different backgrounds in corporate careers and other careers, and I just enjoy making a difference in people's lives. So someone gave their life to me, and I was saved with a stem cell transplant, and I'm just on a mission to give back as much as I can till the end.
Man, That is so cool. Isn't that wild that this is what I was going to say. I was going to say, isn't it wild that we have to have these crazy life moments to kind of like shake us, to like wake us up that, hey, don't think about tomorrow, think about today, be in the present moment. And luckily we are surrounded by people like you that have gone through it, have survived, and now you're trying to like preach this message to people. But what I've found, at least, is people don't always take you up on what you're saying until they go through something.
Unfortunately, I think you guys, that's the reality of life. It's even like when you try and tell your kids something, but it's until somebody else says it that validates it. It's just that natural human instinct, right? I mean, that's life. But we're all there. You guys are doing a good cause. We're all just trying to help people. Just, when you fall, someone's going to have your back and take care of you. And you want people that can help you show the way out. That's what you're looking for, is it's humanity. And there's no judgment of how we lived, but definitely move forward and be grateful every day. That's the key.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of gratitude for life and a lot of gratitude for the day, which is really cool. Is there things that you do or practice every day that kind of help your mental fortitude and keep yourself in that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, I had a corporate boss that said once at a staff meeting, he said, if you want to be appreciated, get a dog. So I have a Labrador, and that dog loves me every day. And you guys, tradition, taking, enjoying life, getting out in the morning, regardless if it's 20 degrees out or it's warm out. I mean, you just have to get up and enjoy the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would just say, just consistency and just be resilient, adjust, you don't know what's going to throw your way.
Yep.
Yeah. Every day is a blessing. That's for sure. And tomorrow's never promised. And so you got to make sure today is the best you can make it.
There's such cliches. I know there's such
cliches, but until you go through this stuff, it's like, there's so many different things that so many different people go through that are traumatic, life-threatening situations. And until you see that there is no light for a little while, it's dark, you gotta, that's when it kind of starts to hit you like, okay, I see it.
Yeah. But you guys I never felt sorry for myself. You can't do that. Now, can you go to a dark place? You're certainly welcome in life. You can go to a dark place, but you can't stay there.
Correct.
Again, my concern was my daughter first. So it's just, I think in life, if you just have a good kindred spirit and you're there to really make a difference, that's what's rewarding.
Absolutely.
So it's true.
It is true, Joe. Joe, if you were to define how you live life moving forward, and I might already know the answer to this, but if you were to define one word for your life moving forward, now that you've gone through all this, what would that be?
The one, hope. I guess you have to have hope,
Mm-hmm.
You can never. So if you guys are running a company and you're having a bad quarter, you gotta do all the right things. There's no taking shortcuts.
Yep.
But you gotta have the faith and the hope to keep going, stay the course and do what you need to do to be successful. And that's, and you have to take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. That's one thing I learned too. That was feeling of not being able to provide any kind of physical, mental, financial support. That's just not fun.
No, not at all, man. Yeah.
And obviously, I'm sure it was difficult seeing your daughter go through this, but I'm sure at the same time, there's got to be the sense of pride seeing her be able. What were things that you learned maybe from her in this process? Were there things that you saw that maybe you're prideful of, or that you learned from her that she shared with you?
Yeah, she never got broken. Her spirit never got broken. I have to give you credit. Give her credit. She really, her life got destroyed as she knew it, right? Friendships, college, school, everything, and you're in the hospital getting poked every so many hours. Yeah, she was my champion too. So it was great. We were involved together, and thank God we're done with all that stuff. But forever grateful.
Awesome.
Man, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, Joe, as we kind of wrap things up, if you have one message or maybe something that's actionable for everybody that you really want to hone in, then you make sure that our audience remembers from this conversation, what would that be?
You have to get yourself in order, and you have to wake up every day and really don't waste it. You know, we really are in a finite life, and don't waste it. Just
goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
Feel them trickling up my body.
Yeah.
And Joe, if people wanted to connect with you, get in touch, learn more,
yeah. My last name it's Ambrosetti at stewartleadership.com. So yeah, you guys are great. I think it's a good cause. I think, it's the human spirit. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're entrepreneur, startup, nonprofit, for-profit, but you got to get your life together and you got to go after it and not take things for granted. So that's the key.
Awesome. Well, Joe, thank you so much, man, for sharing your story and the hope that you shared with everybody. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about having gratitude for the minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope this wasn't depressing. I mean, life is great. So are we good? I don't want to be, yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, it's very motivating.
Very good, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. God bless. You guys take care. Thank you.
Wow. Joe's a man.
So awesome. That was inspiring. By no means depressing. It was a great show.
Yes. Yeah. Learning from people that have gone through situations like that,
you just a
and
gratitude.
seeing that he still has this positive energy,
even through the
inspiring.
thick of that.
Yeah. It shows that the mind, it's all by choice.
It is.
You can choose which direction you want to go. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Peak Podcast. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And we can't wait for you to come along on the next episode of the Peak Podcast. We'll talk soon.
See you guys soon.